Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So we have a lot of news to go over in today's fourth stimulus check update. So you want to be sure to stay until the end of this video. Now states have decided to send out payments to their low income residents in September. There are millions of Americans that may be eligible to receive a larger fourth stimulus check, folks. And that's great news, everybody. President Biden still wants to help out the American people in need of financial assistance.
We promised for the people that we would lower healthcare costs by lowering the cost of prescription. We would increase paychecks by building the infrastructure of America, and we would have cleaner government by passing legislation.
If you guys support President Biden and his push for a fourth stimulus check, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family, because on this channel I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So be sure to subscribe, folks.
But frankly, it's an old view of infrastructure. It's what we might have done 35 years ago. Roads, bridges, mass transit, to a certain extent, not as much as I would like.
Now, millions of Americans are poised to lose their unemployment benefits this weekend, when the federal unemployment benefits will end. Congress did authorize a historic expansion of the country's safety net for jobless individuals in March 2020. And lawmakers twice extended those temporary expansions, which increased the number of people eligible for unemployment benefits and raised the amount of weekly aid for recipients.
It's very specific in the language, and that's why it's not just the money, it's the language as well, to make sure this gets done. And now we have this historic day where we can put forth Social Security for our children.
Now, lawmakers seem unlikely to extend the policies for a third time, given improvements in the economy and labor market in recent months. And according to an estimate from the Sandry Foundation, if that happens, about 8.8 million Americans will lose their benefits entirely. Another 3 million or so will see their aid reduced by $300 a week. Plus, the average person would get about $321 a week without a supplement, or about 38% of their pre-layoff wage. Everybody, do you support the unemployment benefits being cut? Tell me in the comments below. In addition, let's not forget that the White House supports ending the
Recall to my colleagues something I've said to you before. At the beginning of our country, Thomas Jefferson, he tasked the Secretary of the Treasury at the time, Gallatin, to initiate a Gallatin project, which was to build into America.
$1 weekly bonus payments as scheduled. Officials point to an average of 832,000 new jobs added per month over the last 3 months, and the U.S. unemployment rate that's fallen to 5.4% as evidence of a rebounding economy. Even with all the statistics, everybody, we still know there are countless Americans in need of financial assistance. So, do you believe that President Biden should extend the unemployment benefits? Tell me in the comments below. Now, the Biden administration urged states with high unemployment rates to continue paying benefits to certain groups past this weekend's cutoff, using federal funds allocated to states by the American Rescue Plan. Those groups include the long-term unemployed and workers like independent contractors who don't qualify for traditional state aid. It is unclear whether states will do so, though. The U.S. Department of Labor is not tracking those decisions because use of the funds is not within its oversight. Now, eligible Americans did receive up to $3,200 from the IRS, and some are still seeing additional stimulus checks in the form of economic impact payments. Democrats in Congress have little over a month to hammer out the details of the reconciliation plan, everybody, and they plan to pass this through a party line vote. Some Democrats, or some Americans, will be receiving an additional stimulus payment in September. The IRS has until the end of December 2021 to distribute the funds from the third round of economic impact payments, better known as stimulus checks. That round of direct payments to American taxpayers was based on tax filings, like the two before, but once again the IRS had to use the prior year's information to determine how much to send. Those who saw their income take a hit during the crisis were possibly eligible for a supplemental payment, everybody. Conversely, those who were overpaid got to keep the extra money. The IRS has been sending out plus-up payments since April 2021, since April of last year, and will continue to do so until the end of the year. As well as those who had not filed a tax return the past 2 years due to low earnings can still be seeing their stimulus payments from the IRS. The tax agency has been working through a backlog caused by the crisis, and the California Franchise Tax Board began sending the first payments of the tax refunds as part of the $100 billion California Comeback Plan. And the first Golden State stimulus payments went out August 27th to some 600,000 residents. Also, some states around the nation more narrowly targeted portions of the population to dole out some extra cash. Some states targeted those with low incomes and taxpayers who were some of the most affected financially in the aftermath of the economic crisis. Folks, what are your thoughts on this? Is President Biden doing all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.
Thank you for coming back. As many of you know, it's been a tragic 2 weeks, culmination of watching 13 of our servicemen and women give their life. 18 who are seriously wounded, dozens of innocent civilians dead. Yesterday we saw a solemn scene of their bodies being returned. Today I got a phone call from the Secretary of Defense saying the military is completely out of Afghanistan. Many of you have been working to get Americans out. There are still hundreds of Americans left in Afghanistan. Even before coming down here, I got a text coming from a pregnant American woman who'd been beaten with her children. She's back into her apartment. College kids trying to get out. Her mother with children. State Department told to go to the airport, not being able to. The decision by this administration to leave Americans there. My question to the Secretary was, what is the plan? What is the plan now to get Americans out? We'd asked Speaker Pelosi to bring us back in session. We are a co-equal branch. We have responsibility of oversight. We have responsibility for the thousands of constituents we represent for their voice to be heard. And this room consists mainly of veterans, those who have served their nation. To everyone who has served, I want to thank you for coming to the call and doing what was asked of you. The Gold Star families will always be in our prayers. They will not have died in vain. Congressman Gallagher has a bill we tried to bring up on the floor last week that he wouldn't set a political decided date. When that occurs, it's designed to have fatal national security consequences. That's exactly what we watched happen. It's exactly what